How do you make straight edges with no jagged edges? One thing that comes to mind is going to be a style. So if that's like the jitter effect of a style, I'll show you how to turn that off. And then another thought that comes to mind is maybe anti-aliasing. So let's take a look. In SketchUp, first off, styles are basically a different lens for looking at your geometry. You can modify a style. It'll appear to modify your geometry, but it's not changing any geometry. It's a different lens for looking through. It's a different filter to look at that geometry. So in SketchUp, let's open up our styles dialog and take a look at this. If I go to my styles, I can just click on this drop down and take a look at like style builder competition winners, light gray freestyle. You know, there's like these kind of cool styles that you can use. This one has like a lot of jitter to it. That's what I was describing. At least I think that is. I'm going to click on the edit button and look at my edges. Edges. And so this kind of jittery action is a product of the actual stroke style that was created in Style Builder. Let me select a different one. I'll just go to, let's see, TechPen Endpoints, hit Edit. Let's go to Select, go to Home. Here's one I know. We'll go to Design, all right, and hit Edit, and see this jitter. See that jitter kind of gives it that like pencil effect, which really I haven't used that. I literally never use the jitter effect. I would suggest keeping that turned off. Maybe it renders better, but it really, I don't know, it kind of just has a weird look to it. So anyways, jitter would potentially be, you know, messing up your edges. But keep in mind that like if you choose a style that has jitter turned on, I don't know, like let's just say I can't mess with any of these from Style Builder. So let me go to assorted styles and just choose like edit that. No, see these all have these Style Builder edges. So all right, we'll go back to design. Let me just make a comment about this jitter effect. All right, so let's say that I choose a style and this style has this jitter effect on it, and I decide I don't want it on anymore. Well, if I go over here into my styles browser and click on the edit tab, I can uncheck jitter, all right? But look what happens. You know, the jitter turned off, but now I've got these arrows chasing each other on this thumbnail. What that means is that this style needs updated. So if I don't update this style, it's not going to save those settings. So I need to click on this thumbnail, and now it's been saved. So that's basically how we save the changes that we make to a style. If you've ever found yourself saying, gosh, why do these guides keep on turning on? Why do the jittery lines keep on turning on? It's because you're not updating your style. It's a good idea to know all the different properties that are attached to a style. So like in my book on page like 101, I did like a 2-page fold out there where it just lists like all the different settings that are available in, you know, basically all the settings that are applied to a style, and then all of those are applied to a scene. So let's look at this. If I were to turn the jitter back on and then click on this other scene, look at that. See, it jumped back to this style. So then I go, you know what, why does it keep turning off? Jitter on. And then I go back here and see it turn jitter off. So if I want the jitter to stay on, I need to turn it on, and then I need to update that style. All right, so this also goes for a lot of other different settings. I mean, if you go through each one of these boxes, you can see all of these different settings that are available. So two common settings that can really goof things up. One would be if you said like guides and axes. So keep in mind that like you could have your styles browser collapsed, and you could go to the view drop down and uncheck axes. And then you go, yeah, that's great, you know, like my axes are turned off, but man, why is it that every time I click on a different scene or take me to a different style, my axes turn back on? I don't want my axes on. Well, properties of a style can be edited through these drop-downs. So when I turn off my axes, it's actually editing this style. And that's a property of the modeling tab. See, you've got your model axes. So you got to know that, number one, these drop-downs are modifying the properties of your style. And number two, if you do modify a property that you want to save, you do need to click on that thumbnail to save it. So those are a few tips on styles, the jittery effect, and then I mentioned I would talk about OpenGL under Window Preferences. That's under SketchUp Preferences on a Mac under OpenGL. Make sure I've got like a really heavy hitting was it like a, I forget what I have now, GTX like a 1080 or 980 or something. NVIDIA GTX cards are the best. Spend like $400 at least, and then you jack these up to like 16 times. So anyways, that can help with anti-aliasing. If you're seeing like jagged edges, you know, like, let me turn off my jitter. So like if, you can see how nice and smooth my edges are. If I were to go to my preferences, I'm not sure if I can replicate this without restarting. Yeah, see now those, you guys might not be able to see this because it gets like kind of compressed anyway as we go, but there's like this stair-stepping effect here. And so I really don't want that. I want to go to my preferences, OpenGL, and jack up that anti-aliasing. And now it's nice and smooth. That's perfect.